Next to Robbie is Matthew Solomon, who is a partner at Cleary Gottlieb here in Washington. Matt previously served for 15 years as the U.S. Department of Justice and at the U.S. Department of Justice and at the SEC. Next to Matt is Jorge Tenrero. Jorge is the acting chief of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission's Crypto Asset and Cyber Unit. In that role, he has supervised investigations that resulted in SEC lawsuits against SEC registrants with respect to certain cybersecurity interests and against significant participants in the crypto asset markets.
What is up, good people? Jungle Inc. here. Hope you're doing well. What a great day this is. Gary Gensler's main lieutenant, his top enforcer in his war on cryptocurrencies, Jorge Tenrero, has been relegated to the IT department. I can't count the times where we were hoping for some common sense, a sensible conclusion to Ripple versus the SEC, and this scumbag, some sort of document would come across our screen with this creature's signature on it that would just extend. They would just double down on their stupidity. And ultimately, they lost, and this guy lost his position. He's working at the IT department now. And this is the really cool part. If you remember what Coinbase said, and I'm sure a lot of people in the industry are thinking the same thing, he put the warning out there to these law firms. If you hire these people, you're not getting our business. It's going to be tougher for Jorge to make that jump into the crypto space, to create a problem and also create a job for himself post-SEC. Sure, he's a talented attorney. I'm sure he'll get a high-paying job, but it ain't going to be the easy money like we saw in the past from the crypto industry. And this is just a big indicator that the SEC is scaling back their enforcement on the crypto industry. Big news. Now, I agree with what Mikkel says here. The case will end, but not yet. This is not Jorge Tenrero versus Ripple. It's SEC versus Ripple. I'm just guessing here, but I assume they're going to wait until the new SEC chairman takes his seat, and then he'll decide how he wants to either drop these cases or settle them out. So I think we have a little bit more time here, but this just telegraphs the way this is going. There's just not going to be all this crazy lawsuit enforcement stuff. And it's not just Ripple, it's Coinbase and a lot of these other court cases that are going to go away and that Mr. Tenrero was involved with here. David Schwartz saying the following. This is crazy. It looks like, as far as we can tell, he's talking about the XRP downtime. It wasn't really down, but it wasn't validating transactions yesterday. Only one validator operator manually intervened. It's not entirely clear if that solved the problem or that network self-healed. We talked about this yesterday. David Schwartz, he's not going to tell you some nonsense. Sometimes he's too truthful. This just shows the security of the XRP Ledger, the advanced features of the XRP Ledger that, it can run into a problem and it fixes the problem itself. This is a network built for the future, built for scale. Quite amazing here. We had news. Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy has rebranded to just Strategy. Strategy is the world's first and largest Bitcoin treasury company. Again, they made the logo orange. They put a B for Bitcoin in their logo name. But this is what I'm telling you. He has to outpace Bitcoin ETFs. Those are a great alternative to invest in, and you don't have the risk that you have with MicroStrategy. And I don't think infinity debt is going to be his solution. Eventually, he's going to need more growth from this company. And I bet you, at some point in time, you're going to see him pivot to the altcoin space because he's going to have to chase higher and higher growth, trying to make MicroStrategies more attractive than just investing in some sort of Bitcoin ETF. And I think that's how he's going to do it. Not sure when, but I bet you we see that pivot at some point in time. Totally agree with Mikkel here. The name sucks. Just straight up Strategy. It's not that catchy. I think he needs to go back to work on that. Austin King, we got actually 2 posts from him. Follow him on X, his great analysis. But he says the following. Elon Musk confirms that he wants to put the U.S. Treasury on the blockchain. While exciting, most people miss the point. This ain't just another headline. So what's going on with this? What is spurring this move to put the Treasury online? And Austin goes on to say, well, because he's finding a bunch of misuse of taxpayer money as they're digging through government spending. Why is blockchain the solution? Why would you want to go that route? Well, early on with blockchain, it was associated with criminality. People thought it's private. No one knows what we're doing. And we know today that's not the case. Blockchain technology is fundamentally about transparency. Everything's on the public blockchain for everyone to see and trace. This is going to give guaranteed, transparent, and fair elections, prevent wasteful government spending through offering transparency to all citizens. Anyone can see the spending, track it, and turn finance into something that serves the people, not preys on them. This is just the beginning. Again, something like this, a transition like this would take some time. And of course, the government will still have ways. They'll need secrecy and military spending. There'll be ways for them to do things off of the public blockchain. But if we can move a large percentage of that onto the blockchain where people in real time can aggregate that data and see what the government is actually spending money on, that's going to be a game changer. And we need to do this because, again, one of the big problems of this country is the spending, the overspending. We have so much debt. We're essentially bankrupt, and we have to redesign a lot of these things and fix a lot of these problems. And this could be a big step forward. The question is, though, what blockchain would you use for this purpose? David Sachs, crypto czar, says the U.S. industry can have clear regulations within 6 months. This is why I didn't understand why a lot of people were disappointed with that press conference he had. That's what I took out of it, that they're serious, that they're going to execute on their plan. And, government might take longer than 6 months, maybe not, but they are serious about getting this done. Brad Garlinghouse says the following: any criticism on the press conference by David Sachs, the crypto czar, is absolutely missing the forest from the trees. People wanted to hear about the Bitcoin reserve. It's like, who cares about that? This is going to allow this industry to flourish, to grow, to scale, to reach its, eventual value. And that's huge. Now we see Austin King, another post by him. America's first ever crypto czar just held his first press conference and said they're going to create the golden era for digital assets. However, most interesting is not what was said, but who was in the room. This is a great post. Wait till you see this. First and foremost, they said they're going to get stablecoin regulations, and the why is a big deal. David Sachs sees crypto as a way to cement the US dollar as the world's reserve currency. We see a lot of people trying to move away from the dollar, the BRICS nations, things like this. This is going to help cement the US dollar even further into the future. Crypto could create trillions in demand for US treasuries. That's the other reason why they like these stablecoins. You need someone to buy your treasuries, and well, that's stablecoin companies, whether it's Tether, Circle, RLUSD, whoever it may be. It creates a lot of demand there. And this is the big deal. Blockchain can distribute the US dollar to people from countries across the globe. Even if in their home country, their governments don't want them using dollars, at least to this scale. What are you going to do? It's on a permissionless blockchain. You mint some Tether, some USDC, some RLUSD. You can zip it into that country, and now they are transacting, and there's no way to stop it. This is going to make the dollar be even more usable. The second biggest thing they talked about is regulatory clarity for entrepreneurs. If you're an XRP investor, if you're a fan of what Ripple's doing, this should be music to your ears. Who cares what crypto the government may hold? Just let us go out there and build the future. That's the big deal. And the crypto czar's stance is clear. The prior administration improperly prosecuted and persecuted entrepreneurs in the crypto industry. That's going to change. That should excite you and in a big way. Now, this is an interesting observation. He says a majority of the Congress people who spoke at the press conference were involved in agriculture, and commodities. Why is that important? For the longest time, crypto has requested to be regulated by the CFTC, not the SEC. And that's really the way it should be. Most of these things are commodities. And so, well, those are commodities, agriculture and commodities. That's where these Congress people are working with. So it seems like maybe they are pushing it that way. Now, to be clear, some crypto products will be securities, and that's fine. Send that stuff over to the SEC, but let the CFTC regulate the pure commodities like Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, major cryptocurrencies, things of that nature. We just saw the president's son, Eric Trump, just a day or so after tweeting, it's about time to buy yourself some Ethereum, now saying it feels like a good time to enter Bitcoin, tagging his World Liberty company there in the X post. We have a lot of people within government pushing this narrative, pushing this technology. This ain't going away. This is a turning point, and I don't think most people understand how big it is. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse is on a short list for the U.S. Crypto Advisory Council in New York. This will be massive. Someone from our tribe being in that post is going to be very helpful for us for sure. And lastly, from Digital Asset Investor, I have this post from Charles Hoskinson To give you a sense of how big the upcoming bull market is for crypto, we just absorbed a downturn that was larger than the collapse of Luna or FTX and have nearly recovered. Just a matter of hours. 710 billion in losses, 740,000 traders liquidated in 24 hours. 2025 is crypto's year. I totally agree with them. Let me know what you think, though, down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link. What is up, good people? Jungle Link here. I want to invite you to join my Patreon. It's $5.99 a month, but I plan to stock this with a ton of value here. Weekly newsletters, in-depth analysis, interviews, stuff that doesn't fit necessarily on the main YouTube channel, but I think you're going to really like. Check out the link below, and we'll see you there.